second man press. One of the most effective ways of defending in FIFA 22. You're able to cut the passing lanes, and whilst doing this, you can have a second man press the player with the ball. This is a complete guide to utilising second man press in FIFA 22.
Griezmann, 3 men around him, and somehow finds some space. Ronaldo, fantastic, opening the drive back.
He's made himself the tiniest bit of space.
Almost feels like a bit of a taunt. Didn't really go for him. Oh! Display there, absolutely ridiculous. Elastico on the goal line. On the goal line, the finest.
We
of
talked about
margins.
Aussie FIFA. He's not here to make up the numbers.
First of all, to perform second man press in FIFA 22, it is actually quite simple. All you need to do is hold down the R1 button whilst you're defending, and what will happen is the player with the fainted arrow above his head, the second closest player to the ball, will start to press the opponent as you hold in that R1 or RB button. Now there will be a timer on this press, and you are only limited to around, I believe, 10 seconds, which means you only have a certain amount of time to do this. However, there is a certain technique of not drawing all of the second man press stamina out of your player, and that technique I'm about to teach you guys right now. Utilising second man press on and off. This is a technique that I utilise to prevent my players from using up all of their second man press stamina. I call it stamina because at the end of the day it is a timer. So for the purposes of this video we will call it stamina. Basically it's the time that you have for each player for them to second man press. What I find is when you're second man pressing, if your player overcommits or the opponent actually manages to beat the defender who is second man pressing you, let go of second man press so it doesn't draw all the stamina out, and wait for the arrow to change to the other defender who will now be closer to the attacker, because he will have a full load of stamina for second man press and you're able to press him yet again with this technique. If you do this, it will prevent the player who was originally second man pressing the opponent from using up all of his second man press stamina, which means you can use it at a later date. Maybe the opponent might make a turn with left stick dribbling and all of a sudden that player again is closest to the ball who is second man pressing. So it all depends on where he is on the pitch. But lads, this is how to prevent utilising all of the stamina for the second man press in FIFA 22. How to actually use second man press. Now what I recommend when you are utilising this technique of defending is that when you are pressing with the second man, when you get closer to the defender with that second man, you use L1 to select him so that you can make a tackle. Because what second man press will do is allow the second defender closest to the attacker to press him and get right up close to him, closer than maybe you even would be able to do with the jockey motion. So you can utilise second man press to have the AI jockey push up and press at the opponent, and then when you get within a close vicinity you can select him, then make that tackle because he will be in a good area to do so. Now I did say you can use L1 switching to obviously select that defender, but you could also use right stick switching to select that closest defender. Utilising this technique when your opponent is out on the wing. This is actually a very effective way of covering the passing lanes in the centre of the pitch. Now in general in FIFA, one thing you need to keep in mind with defending is you do want your opponent going out to the wing rather than through the centre, and if you can push him out that way rather than have him go up the centre of the pitch, then this will actually benefit you in the long run, because at the end of the day he's not a danger to you out on the wing, but he is in the center. So if we can push him out there, that is very important. And when he is out there, we can utilize second man press to basically take the second player who is closest to him to press him whilst you are covering the passing lanes and jockeying the inside players. This is a very good way of pressing the opponent, and at the end of the day you can switch, like I taught you before, to the closest defender who is second man pressing him to then win the ball out on the wing. Utilising second man press when you are closer to your own goal. This is actually a very good way of not drawing the defenders out when you are trying to make that tackle in FIFA 22. You can select the centre back and then utilise your midfielder or attacker to press the opponent without you having to do so, and basically AI defend in these situations to prevent yourself from conceding a goal. Now it is important that you do select, as I was saying in that third segment, the defender when he gets closer to the attacker to try and get that tackle as soon as possible. Utilizing second man press to press with your attackers. This is actually a very good way of not drawing midfielders out of the position. I talked about not drawing your centre backs out around the 18-yard box area, but this is actually a very good way not drawing your midfielders out of their position, especially the CDMs, when defending and when the opponent is switching the ball in FIFA 22, because you can utilize your attackers who are closer to the players with the ball to press the opponent and hopefully get that ball off, or at least put pressure onto him to squeeze him out towards the wing to hopefully win that ball back. And the way you do this is, of course, select the midfielders, the CDMs, or even the cam, and then you want to obviously hold down R1 and allow the attacker to press the opponent to try and squeeze him and get the ball off him. So there you have it. There is my complete guide to second man press in FIFA 22. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy this one here. But as always, I hope you guys have a good day. I'm out. Sayonara, au revoir, adios, salam, adios, ciao, and goodbye.